Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Overwatch, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. Now, Capulets and Montagues set the stage, and only one will stand in the end. The all-star match is upon us. Now who will break and who will bend? We welcome you to the Season 4 All-Star Game here between Team Capulets and Team Montagues. And joining me, Clutchkey, here on the caster call is my good friend Pulse. What's up, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. I am super excited, and I love the Capulet versus Montague fight. It's a fight as old as time, and we're so ready. These All-Stars been working all season, and they're getting ready to beat down here.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's the fight as old as time, from when Shakespeare was born to Now, about like 600 years later, just about 600 years later, Capulets and Montagues still exist, but it's still the fight of the year, and this is what we've been looking forward to. All of these EU players, the best of the best here, voted by the community of OTC, come together to play the game, and only one team will stand in the end. Not like Romeo and Juliet, where both lovers fall. Love is not in the air today between these two teams. You're looking at which family rather stands up in the end. So what are we expecting from this? Not best of 5 as we usually see in the OTC community, but the best of 7 now. What are we expecting from these two teams?
We're expecting some god tier play. Like you've mentioned, these guys have been working all season and they are the best of the best in the EU. This community, their voices were heard and we responded. These are the fan favorites. These are the god tier players. And I'm so ready for these two to go at it. It's going to be a great, great match here in this EU. And man, Shakespeare to Jeff Kaplan, two stories that are god tier.
Mm-hmm. And so our first map here to start our best of 7 is Lijiang Tower, one of the more famous and one of the more popular control maps to play on, because it's there's so many concepts to start us off. But the first one is going to be the night market. You can see the center shrine, the center tower there, very closed space, but so many windows of opportunity, and the very high and kind of a high ceiling for a night market. But that's our first map here, and these teams have only had a little while, maybe about a month to work together. But knowing they're all stars, this should be very exciting.
Yeah, I'm expecting some very coordinated play here, and you worry just a little bit, just because since they're all stars, you worry about who's the actual shot caller here. But that's all right. Like you said, they've had a month to kind of work out those kinks, and I'm expecting a very well coordinated, well played match, and especially on this map in particular, we see a lot of pharmacy coming out. We see a lot of Arisa is a very popular pick. Lucio also a very popular pick. So we're gonna see if those kind of come out here.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see if it does come out. 30 seconds left to go in the Assemble the Heroes phase, and we're just watching to see what these teams kind of play. And this is basically more or less what they play back in when they were playing with their regular teams. And so now we get to see them come out when they play with different players. Usually we see these teams go at it against each other, but now it's going to be weird to see when they play with each other how much they bring each other out. And you're going to see in the Assemble this Heroes phase, unless anything changes to start here, you're pretty much going to see a mirror battle, except for one person. Sati is going to play the Reaper unless something changes right there.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big weapon to have, because that's a tank destroyer, especially since both teams will converge on this point in the center here. It's going to be close quarters, and I feel like Reaper's a great pick. We are going to get a quick pause, but that gives me a chance to talk about the Montague roster. These guys seem like a pretty set roster. So it looks like they're going to bring out the Shimada brothers, Hanzo Genji. I think that's a great pick coming out here, just because those two have just so much mobility, so much damage, and they could create a lot of space for this team to pop off, especially with their tank lines and Brigitte able to get in there, try to fight the front lines, while those two kind of hold out in the back and wait for their opportunity to pounce.
Mm-hmm. But let's not bring down Capulets just yet, because we just started here. You said that Reaper with that big tank destroyer, but how about this Genji from Chico that we've seen from him before lots of times? And then you also see the Brigitte, that shield combo with the Brigitte and Reinhardt. But then you also have a very interesting pick, Ana from IR Big Boy, something you usually don't see. You usually see kind of like a Mercy Brigitte or something like that. But no, it's the Ana that comes out from Big Boy to start us off here on the checkpoint. So we'll see how this works out. But right now, it's the House of Capulets that takes over the entire point, and Athena calls team kill, and we have ourselves the first strike. And already the Capulets looking like they have bit their thumb on the Montagues right now, and they have the first strike.
Yes, and I love the Ana grenade getting tossed in there. That kind of made all of Gadaka's healing kind of null. It didn't really mean anything. They were able to pounce on that, and like I said, with Reaper and Chico on that Genji, that's huge. That's a huge play, but the Pharah coming out here now.
And now the Earth Shatter comes out from Niffle to start us off as well. It's going to get 2 people. Godako goes down, which means that's a huge try for the Capulets already, taking down any chance of a res or heal. And right now, just the Montagues not having any answer for the Capulets. And the only one left to try here is KNF upstairs with that Hanzo. But right now, it's just a forced reset for the Montagues. So right now, the Capulets doing a wonderful job of pushing them back all the way back into the restaurant row.
Yeah, and I love the play coming out here from Niffle. He's such a good Reinhardt. He's very aggressive as well, and that's a great job by the support line to pocket him. But look, he's going to get figured out here in this corner. We're going to see what happens.
And Chico actually activates the Dragon Blade right now, tries to get anybody in the background, but a few swings and a miss, and KNF is going to take him down in the process there. And so a little bit of a push and shove battle. Montague's finally starting to wake up maybe a little bit, but no, it's still the Capulets led by Mr. Dreams on this Zarya. Full charge Zaryas can be very deadly, and right now the Montagues just don't have any response to Mr. Dreams, and this is all Capulets right now. 71% on the point, and if you're the Montagues, you got to find an answer, and you got to find it fast.
Yeah, and you also have to maybe switch up your comp pretty quickly because Chico goes onto this Pharah, and there is no hit scan to answer for that. That's all KNF's job essentially, and so we'll see if he can kind of handle that. But that's just going to create even more space. And look at this, the Capulets are dominating this fight.
Graviton Surge coming in. Santi's got himself a triple kill, and Niffle's going to end it with an Earth Shatter on Designer. And how about this play from Santi on the Reaper? Tank Destroyer, more like Team Destroyer, and all the way through, all 100-0. It's going to be Capulets winning the first house here on Night Market. Santi just adding a little more flair, getting the Death Blossom. Double kill on Hippo and Godaka to end it. But right now, Capulets absolutely dominating the Montagues. So right now, if you're the Montagues, what are you thinking trying to beat out Capulets to take this to game 3?
I think you have to focus their support line just a little bit more. You know, they're not even running a main support right now. They're running 2 off supports in Ana and Brigitte, and that's pretty big because that means mechanically those two support line people are just kind of constantly pumping, you know, they're healing into their team, and that, I think that's great. That just shows a lot of mechanical skill, and it's really working well for them. And so I just think you need to focus there. But look at this, we got a Lucio coming out here now, so it is a little bit of a switch up in the support line.
And Lucio, not a very unpopular pick because you have an opportunity to get an environmental kill off the edge, which we've seen in a lot of the seasons, which we've seen people do, which could be huge. And now you're also going to see a pharmacy battle here come out because Designer's now on the Pharah trying to take on Chico, but we'll see how that lands up. And in the meantime, down in the middle of the tower here on the Garden, you're going to see if the Montagues can finally come up with the answer. But right now, Big Boy, basically Big Boy starts off demecking Kudo on this point, and the Montagues are going to have themselves the first strike on this point unless somebody holds on to it. And Godaka trying to get the res, but really not much happening there as Santi shuts him down. So once again, the Capulets with a dominant performance taking it on the Montagues right in the center, and the Montagues just don't have an answer.
Yeah, and the Montagues are running a dive tank line with the D.Va Winston, and so they're just going to try to overpower them. But with how aggressive Niffle is, and especially with Reaper, man, that's just a hard thing to run your tanks into. That's going to be such a difficult task for them, and they need to recuperate right now.
And so right now, and now they're trying to come in with a team. You're going to see Ashtray on the Winston lead off with that Winston shield bubble. And now the Earth Shatter comes in. That is huge. That's 4 people going off. And Niffle's going to kill himself, but not before he takes Kudo out of the map. So right now, it is still in favor of the Capulets, even if Niffle and Chico go down in the process. But it's still Capulets that hold on to the point at 40%. But let's take a look at this now. And you're going to take a look at the replay of the Shatter coming up here. And this is a huge Earth Shatter from Niffle. And I mean, that starts us off with a huge team fight. And you know, if you get at least 3 or 4 people there, you know you're set.
Yeah, and they also have a grab, and they're going to use it here right now as I was saying that. And look, that's just such a big delay, and you're just going to build more percent of that. Niffle is popping off here.
Niffle pops off, absolutely the tank of the game right now with that Reinhardt, maybe even player of the game if we're stretching it that far, because Niffle just absolutely dominating the team of Montagues right now. But if you're Montagues, you got to hurry up because this clock is melting down. You're at 75% right now. You got to figure out a way to take this point right now. As the sound barrier drops on Niffle's side, now Ashtray brings out the Primal Rage, takes down Niffle. Designer's got the Rocket Barrage coming as well. Takes down Angel, so any chance of a healing or res is gone. So that is huge. Now 3 men down and make that almost the entire team. 1 person left is Niffle, who isn't going to go down completely, but is going to back up. So now the Montagues have themselves their first strike here on Lijiang Tower.
And I think they are able to hold this for a long time with Pharah and McCree, you know, being able to just kind of be in the front lines. And as a Reaper and as a Capulets, I mean, it's just going to be kind of hard to bully their way in there. They have dive, so they are going to be super aggressive. And look, they're just going to rotate behind them and try to enter the point this way.
And we're going to see if the Montagues can hold on to this here as the Death Blossom comes out. Big Boy's going to actually take out Kudo. in the process, takes them out the mech. So right now it's in favor of the Capulets because that mech and Kudo is basically gone, and Chico's just gonna win the Pharah battle in the end, which should force another flip into the Capulets' house favor. Now the question is, can the Montagues get back there in time? 90% to go. No mistakes, no time. If you're the Montagues, you gotta get there quick.
You have to get there very quickly, and I'm expecting to see the Lucio speed boost here, and we'll see if this comes out here. And there goes the Graviton Surge.
A great play by the Graviton Surge, and a very smart play at that. That forces a hold up on the hold up right outside the tower. So that Graviton Surge huge, and Capulets are going to be the victors of Act 1 here between Capulets and Montagues. Capulets up 1-0 here on Lijiang Tower.
Yep, absolutely. And this best of 7, and this Brigitte is going to get play of the game. And this was before the point was even open for capture. And like this was just the first fight. Capulets dominating their dominance early. That's a huge, huge play. And look, they just shut down the enemy team before they even had a chance. And I love the aggressive play coming out here from Niffle. He kind of made the whole team just give a lot of space there.
So we're gonna let's talk about our thing here, because let's talk about the games here right now, because it's all Capulets that have the advantage right now, because you can see everybody, especially Niffle on this Reinhardt, has been so dominant, has been such a big factor against the Montagues, and they just don't have an answer for him. So if you're the Montagues, what are you trying to do, or what are you trying to run in order to take him down?
I just think you'd have to have a more coordinated team. I mean, their tanks were running essentially dive with the Winston Diva, and you know that's fine. That creates a lot of space. It's a lot mobile, and it's a lot more damage just kind of in general. But their DPS lens didn't really seem to follow that. You know, they were running McCree Pharah, and before Brigitte, you know, McCree was kind of the answer to dive. So I feel like you just kind of have to have a more coordinated team and a better just roster coming out here. Just more in sync, I assume. Hey, these guys are all-stars. So, while this first game is over, we're going to wait for the next map to start. How about you guys give us a follow on Twitter at OTChamps. We sometimes do giveaways over there, and you can stay up to date with the latest OTC news and give it a follow. And look, Season 5, you know, that's coming up, and that's going to get in full swing pretty soon. So, and if you want to see these all-stars kind of play normally, you guys can go see them there, and we'll post, you know, the live
And so it'll be interesting, yeah. All Season 5, it's going to be very interesting. 4 season of OTC down, number 5 coming up. A huge Season 5 because we got more teams coming, we got more players coming, and maybe our all-star roster will change next in the coming future here, because now you got Capulets and Montagues. What next from Shakespeare? I wonder. When do you have two families squaring off here whenever do you have two families square off in a game of Overwatch? I've never seen this before, unless you have family game night on Overwatch. That might be a different story.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to move on to Kings Row here. This is the hybrid map, and you know what? I love this map. It's a very common pick. You know, we see it often here, so we'll see some comps that these guys are comfortable with coming out here, but still very great showing from both these teams. I loved how the Montagues took it back, though. I mean, essentially they capped that point on Lijiang Tower, you know, last game by just having great ult economy and great like ult usage. And you know, obviously these guys are all stars. We're not going to see a lot of mechanical mistakes here, so. These guys are the best of the best that OTC has to offer in the EU, so we'll see, you know, these guys coming out here and punching it all. Yeah, like you said, these are the best of the best, and right now they are showing it, because there's been a lot of good plays, but mainly it's come from the Capulets, because the Montagues just have not had an answer. But let's take a look at the team comp here to see if the Montagues can come up with an answer. They are the first to attack, and now you're going to see the Capulets start off here on the defense, and their team is basically almost the same thing. Chico and Santi, the only ones that changed there. Santi we saw on the Reaper last game, now playing the Junkrat, and Chico from that Genji plays the Hanzo now. So you're gonna have one sniper at least. Santi providing the explosive damage to see if he can get fast and burst damage there. And our Big Boy still sticking on the Ana, which has been big so far. So maybe that'll turn up to be big for Big Boy right now. Yeah, and they're going to rotate out here on the left side, so no more, you know, they're not going to get hit by that spam damage or maybe a cheeky pick by the sniper. And, you know, the spam damage by Junkrat, I think, could be the difference maker here, so we have to be careful from the Capulets.
And so the Montagues is going to have their first attempt at the try, but Chico starts off with a headshot on Godaka, so basically the heal's almost gone at this point, but Santi going off here. And so right now, just once again, Niffle playing this aggressive Reinhardt, just pushing him past the gate, and really no response from the Montagues right now. KNF doing his best with that Widowmaker snipes, but really just cannot hit anything. It's hitting a few shots, but really not enough to take down the team of the Capulets. So right now, the Montagues are going to have to find an answer to push through as they're going to try their next attempt.
Yeah, and the Capulets have all of them have over, around 40% ult charge, while the Montagues are still kind of building it up, and I think that's just more of a showing. And look at that big shatter, is going to get 2 of them, and he's going to end out another push.
It's going to end up in another push indeed, because everybody from the Montagues backing up, but not if Chico has anything to say about it. Gets a double kill before that, so that's going to force a little bit of a stagger on the Montague side. So now it's going to be up to the teams here, and it's going to be up to the Montagues to push through the gate here, because now they have 2:30 on the clock.
Yeah, and that stagger was their support line, so that is very rough. You can't really engage without that healing being pumped in. But Designer's trying to be some aggressive, build up a little of that charge, and we do have Coalescence here coming out of the Montagues, but the Tire's going to come out first, and we'll see what happens.
Riptire comes out in the background. Godaka tries and avoids it, but gets a double kill on Kudo and Godaka, so that's huge for them right now, and that could very well mean a defensive hold by the Capulets, because now it's a 6-on-3. KNF's going to try his best, takes down Niffle in the process, but the question is that enough to incite a team fight? No, Chico's just going to end my question right there. And now the Montagues have themselves another try at this point. Now they're going to try and force their way in as the rally comes out from Angel. And right now, the only one on that point is Designer, who's going to go down by the hands of Angel as well. Now the Graviton Search, the question is the follow-up. Dragon Strike comes down, Chico gets 1, Chico gets 2, and that'll be it for him. Cultures and Hippo go down by the hands of the Dragon Strike Graviton Surge combo. So the Capulets looking strong. 2.5 minutes left to go, and you'll see a replay here of that Graviton Surge Dragon Strike combo, because right now it is looking good for the Capulets. Their teamwork is superb right now.
Yeah, and the only thing you really have to just combine with Designer is that Coalescence, so we may see that coming out here from the Montagues, but they do have to make a big play right now, and they keep walking down this main street, and I don't see any change in tactics. They keep running the same thing, but Hippo is going to switch onto that Junkrat, and we are going to get, an ult, a lot of ults coming out here, so we'll see what happens.
And you're going to see at least 4 ults come out there, because I saw Nano Boost, the Graviton Search, and Earth Shatter, and a Coalescence here. But right now, it's a little bit of a push and shove. Niffle's shaking a little bit, trying to get any damage out of his way. Great, by the way, that was funny, Niffle. I'm sorry, that was funny to watch. But Niffle just trying to shake off some damage, but unlike Taylor Swift, he's not going to be able to shake it off. And so right now, it is all Montagues taking over this point, but a lot of time wasted off the clock. But for them, Big Ben strikes 4, and it's the Montagues' time to push this payload with 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, and that was a great push. They used all of their ults here, but there's no worry, because they already have 2 back right away, the Shatter and the Dragon. That could be a great combination if you land a really big Shatter. The payload is going to start getting the move here, and we'll see if the Junkrat on the side of the Capulets can make a difference. That's a lot of spam damage coming in here.
That's also a Riptire coming in, so at any moment, that guy, Santi, can come behind you, and really no big heals after that as well. So here comes the Riptire. As I was saying, he's going to try and come upstairs, maybe get something upstairs on the behind. It is up there. No, it's going to fall down. Gets Godaka in the background, so the only one that goes down there is Godaka. So right now, it's in the hands of the Capulets to defend this point in a 6v4 match. KNF on this Hanzo so far, it's been pretty good. Getting a few picks, including on Chico, but KNF just not getting as much as he needs to get, except for maybe the Dragon Strike, but that's about it for him. And the Montagues just having a little bit of trouble now, and once again, just cannot find the answer for the Capulets.
Yeah, you want to make this stagger a one-time thing, and look at this. I mean, they're just going to try to bully their way in here, and here comes a grab, and it could be very, very dangerous. We'll see.
Yep, 4 people in there. Not much of a follow-up. Santi does take down Kudo from that Graviton Surge, and now the Coalescence being brought up by Godaka to bring up, maybe heal up his team or do some damage right now. Nano boosted Zarya right there in the background, but it's going to go down by the hands of KNF. So this time the Montagues finally come up with an answer. Capulets forced to back up, and now the Montagues are pushing this around turns 1 and 2, looking for turn 3.
Yeah, and like I was saying, you wanted that stagger to be a one-time thing. The team spread out because they didn't want to get hit by that tire. And look, at the tire's going to come out again, and we'll see if the team spread out. And no, KNF is going to snipe it out of the air. Great shot there, and the fight will start to engage.
You can pretty much call that all-star aim from KNF right now. The Earth Shatter comes in, gets four people in the process. KNF is going to take down Niffle to start us off here. And now the Dragon Strike comes right down the middle. Where's that going to go? That's going to come right down the payload. Probably will, maybe gets Coldress in the process. Coldress does take a little bit of damage, but right now it is all Capulets to defend this point, because right now it's like they have an invisible wall, brick wall, pushing them back at every single way they have. And this payload just is not moving right now. Even if it's 97.5 meters down the point, it's just reversing at this point.
Yeah, sometimes when you're pushing this on attack, you want to worry about, maybe you want to get a good time bank, but at this point, you just want to get as many points as you can if you're Montague, because you really aren't gonna bank on a good time bank being on your side. So they have time for one more push if it's Lucio speed boosted in, and this is going to be very, very essential. This is the final fight here, but look at all the ults the Montagues have. They have 5 of them. This could be a huge fight.
5 of them coming in, Graviton Surge, but now to start us off is the Riptire along with the Coalescence on the other side. The Riptire from Santi is going to try and come around. Gonna stop right there. Gets Coldress, so that's a huge fake. That takes down any chance of an Earth Shatter coming. And now the Graviton Surge, 3 people in the middle. And now the Dragon Strike coming from the opposite end. It's not gonna get anybody. A little bit of a missing there. Hippo's gonna try the whole hog here to try and clear out and stagger, but right now it is all Capulets to defend this point. Nobody left to go on the point, and now the door is wide open for the Capulets to go up 2-0 here on Kings Row.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's just a little rough here from the Montagues. That tire really made the difference. We pointed out earlier in the match, the Junkrat could be the difference maker, and it was here. And that's just a huge stagger on the Coldridge, because he had the shatter, and that could have been a fight opener. If you get even 3 of them, that's half the team that you could have gotten down. But then since he was the first pick in that fight, I mean, that's just huge, because that means there's no more Reinhardt, there's no more big shield letting your team engage in the fight, and there's no more, and the shatter was just wasted. There was no opportunity to use it, and so the Montagues will fall there, outplayed by the Capulets, and that was just great play, great defense coming out from the Capulets.
And so, yeah, great plays coming out from the Capulets, but now you can't really ignore the Montagues too much there. They had one or two games, they had 1 or 2 plays there, including the team fight, that got them the payload back with about 40 seconds left to go. The Montagues came out swinging finally, but that clock pretty much melted at that point, because you had the Capulets running that huge defense for almost 3.5 minutes, and then the Montagues finally snap awake with the ult process. But then when they came into the payload itself, 5 ults down the line and really not much going, because the Capulets just knew who to take out first. Coldress being the first one to take out, and that really affected the way the Montagues were going to play that.
Yeah, that last fight was just that was such a huge thing. We mentioned that they needed to get Lucio speed boosted in, and that could have been the difference maker if Lucio was able to get there in time. But like we said, that Junkrat being able to shut them down, Capulets just outplayed them, and they knew the Montagues had a lot of ults, so that was just great play.
All right, so prepare to attack phase. You're going to see Montagues on the defense here, and you're going to see Kudo move on over to the Zenyatta, while Designer now on the Genji. KNF sticks on the Hanzo to see if he can get any picks. In the meantime, Chico's going to try his hand at the Widowmaker, tries to get any picks to start, and pretty much everybody else sees the same, and you're going to see Santi on this Reaper that's been so effective so far for the Capulets, and we'll see how far it gets them in this hybrid map of Kings Row, as they already start off pushing back Montagues. And like I said, Montagues apparently have an invisible wall right now, because Capulets are just forcing them back, and you can see them because they're not even on the point defending it right now. You're gonna see the Montagues try their best to defend this point, and Capulets having all the success right now. The only one on this point is Designer, who's gonna go down in the process. And right now, once again, that invisible wall coming in. Santi on this Reaper, just making it hell, as Reaper implies, just making it hell for the Montagues. And right now, 5:40 on the clock. Big Ben strikes 4, and this payload's going to get moving. All right, and we're going to see if Niffle, bringing out their Earth Shatter, we'll see if Niffle can use this Earth Shatter. We've seen him bring it out, gets 4 people, got 3 people, and already you're going to see if Niffle brings out that Earth Shatter and brings out the best of the Capulets right now. But also take a look at the other side. Montagues don't really have the only 2 ults that they're really going to have coming up here are maybe the Valkyrie and maybe the Transcendence from the Zenyatta of Kudo. And right now we're going to see if they can defend the point, because this payload already 27 meters away from winning Act 2 for the Capulets. And right now, it's still in favor. Transcendence comes out for Kudo to start. Chico's gonna win the Widowmaker, takes on KNF, and all the way in the background right now is Niffle, just trying to swing the hammer away. And now the Death Blossom comes out from Santi, takes down Kudo, so that's huge because nobody else is on the payload right now. Only 2 people can get there, KNF and Coldress. It's not gonna be enough though, and Capulets in Act 2 still on the side of biting their thumb on the Montagues, and the Capulets are gonna take the crown here at Kings Row. They're up 2-0 here in the Capulets versus Montagues Family Feud.
that was just a great match. I loved seeing that whole match coming out from both sides here. You know, props to you, real quick, Clutch. You know, I got DC'd there, so great carry on that last map. That was pretty much all you. But look at this play coming out here from Angel. You know, again, another Brigitte play of the game. So you know, that was pretty big, getting that Hanzo on the side there, and you know. That was just great match, and I love seeing both these teams play.
And it is very fun to see both of these teams play because even though the score implies a 2-0, a very dominant performance by the Capulets in a very 2-0 fashion, it's still very interesting to watch all of these players play, because right now it's still a matter of if one of these players can finally shine out. And right now, I think the 2 players that are really shining out are Niffle and, as you can see back on the play of the game, Angel, because this shield war being won by these 2 right now.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, before we go, we're going to take a little break before we let the next match start. So we'll see you guys on the other side.
And we welcome you back here to the Season 4 All-Star Game here, the Overtime Champions community between Capulets and Montagues. Act 1 and Act 2 shined the curtain, shined the spotlight on Team Capulet, winning back on Lijiang Tower 2-0 and on Kings Row in a convincing 2-1 fashion. And now the Montagues have to try and come back here in Act 3 and 4 to try and tie up the game to kind of make this a series. Otherwise, they're in trouble of a sweep right now in 2-0. And so right now, it's just all Capulets. Montagues just got to find an answer.
Yeah, and it's not like they're getting absolutely shut down. They're winning fights, and they just need to have a little bit more better shot calling. Like we pointed out in the first map, they need to focus a little bit more on their supports, just because they're not really running high healer supports. They're not running like Ana and Brigitte. They can't really pump out a lot as much healing as maybe like Lucio or Moira. They were running Moira a little bit, but there hasn't been too much mercy coming out here, and that's 100% fine. I love seeing mechanical skill coming out, so that's absolutely okay. And you pointed it out a little bit earlier. They need to focus Niffle and Angels, just because those two are absolutely shutting down the Montagues right now.
And so now we're going to see if that happens. Our next map here is going to be Rialto. So we're in Europe, EU, and now we're back in Europe here in Italy. So you're going to see Rialto, not a very popular map pick amongst competitive players, but now we're in Rialto, the escort map here to lead us off in Act 3. And this is going to be interesting enough because the one thing you do not expect to be an environmental kill is water. And now that's a possibility.
Yeah, it absolutely is a possibility. We see a lot of Orisa. We see a lot of, those people who can get those environmentals, set up here on this early pick, but also on the DPS side of the defense. We see a lot of Pharaoh Widowmaker coming out here just because there is this huge, there's these 3 huge balconies here at this intro part. And, that's a Widowmaker's dream. You can pretty much rotate any side you want. But there are a lot of doors that the offense could come out of, and they could even rotate on the other bridge on the other side. So, we'll see what happens here. But like you said, they need to watch out for those environmentals.
And a lot of time, and also here too, unlike some, a lot of times you're gonna have 3 ways to start off. Like you said, there's a lot of doors, a lot of openings in this map. But the one thing is the big start here, because you're gonna have 3 openings, one on the alley sides of each side, and then one right down the middle on the payload. We've seen teams sometimes take the alleys first for the team fight to push them back. But if you're the Montagues right now on the attack, what do you want to do? What opening strategy do you want to do against the Capulets right now?
Maybe just focus taking out that Pharaoh, getting that Pharaoh out of the sky. Makes your eyes go from the sky back down to the ground, and you definitely want to win this fight on the ground. They're running the defense is running Doomfist, Doomfist and Orisa. So you want to keep that fight on the ground. You just got to take out that Pharaoh super quickly, so that's not your focus the whole time.
And so we are going to see the payload move up here, and we'll see if that happens here from the Montagues as they're going to get this payload moving over the bridge. Very important bridge, starting bridge there. Hippo almost goes off the edge of the map, but somehow stays up. And right now, Montagues have the answers because they're pushing back Capulets. Something we haven't seen, we rarely see in this map right now. That's that the Capulets are being pushed back, and the Montagues now responding. But here comes the Capulets inside. And Chico's going to fall off the map on the Doomfist, so right now, advantage Montagues because that TPS is gone, but it's still the Capulets winning this fight right now, and they're just pushing back the Montagues all the way, but pretty much back to the spawn. Hippo goes down from Sassy, so that's a big pick, and right now, it's just Capulets winning the battle here against the Montagues.
I think the only difference between these two at the moment is that the shot calling for Capulets is super on point. They get the people who aren't with the team. They get those kind of outliers. While the Montagues are just going to try to take the frontline fight. As the Montagues, you kind of want to stick together. But you also have to be careful of that ferret. There is going to get a boop, and look at that, a double environmental.
And a double environmental kill for Santi is huge. He's just laughing off already, or he's probably just laughing right now because he got that double environmental kill, but that is huge for the Capulets. And you're going to see the replay coming up here, and this double kill, environmental is the key here right over that bridge, and the Montagues just cannot find the answer, especially when 2 of your teammates go down in the hands of a Pharaoh spread rocket and it takes him out of the map.
Oh yeah, and a good shutdown of the Diva there, so that may be opening some ground for the Montagues to kind of push in here. But that Orisa, everybody's so scared of that because you don't want to get halted off the edge, and so the Valkyrie coming out here, we'll see if that'll make a difference in this fight.
So right now, still coming up with answers. Finally, Designer wins that Pharah battle. That's huge. That takes down Santi. And right now, the Montagues have the advantage, although Big Boy's going to res up Santi. So that Pharmacy combo still working out in the favor of the favor of the Capulet house. But the Montagues moving this payload finally, but it's still, this is more impressive than not. This payload still has not gotten around turn number 1 just over the bridge. And right now, the Montagues just cannot find an answer like we've seen them try a minute 30 before. But like we've seen before, late in the game, the Montagues can have an answer, and they have 4 ults coming, or actually, they might have all 6 ults coming up here. Kudo actually uses the rally to start off, so 5 ults coming up for them.
Yeah, and you know, all these people are gonna need a lot of armor, but watch out for this Diva Bomb. Everybody needs to get behind the shield, but Coldridge didn't get the memo. He wasn't there behind that shield, and you know, didn't have the bubble in time to protect himself. But Chico's gonna go down, so it's a 5v5 fight. We'll see if this makes a difference here.
And Niffle's power booster is going to go down. So right now, and actually Niffle tries to charge, or sorry, Hippo tries to charge, but Niffle's like, sorry, you gotta swim first. Takes him down in there, takes him down in the water, and now KNF and Designer both using their Deadeye and Rocket Barrage ults respectively. Takes down Angel and Santi, and taking down Angel is huge because that's one of the big players that they need to take down immediately. And now the payload starts to get moving. KNF's gonna demech Mr. Dream, so any chance of tank play is really coming out from the Capulets not there. A Doomfist comes out from the background of Chico, but KNF takes him down immediately, saying, sorry, I'm not taking any back picks today. And already the Capulets are pushed back all the way here. Montagues have themselves the first 2 turns.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of a shame just because Montagues, every time it seems like they win a fight, that it always seems like, you know, time just isn't on their side. You know, here, you know, I'm assuming we're gonna, you know, we might get an overtime with Capulets trying to contest, and a Rocket Barrage is gonna come out here.
Rocket Barrage comes out, but KNF punishes him immediately. Chico in the background with the Doomfist coming down with a Meteor Strike. And now 4 seconds left to go. Chico's looking good right now to take out the entire team. He takes down a third of the team right now, so overtime does happen. And it's all Montagues that's got to stay up on this point. Goldaka gives Coldris a chance to stay on this point, and right now it's just a little bit of a push and shove battle. And Capulets just trying to figure out if they can shove the Montagues off the payload right now. Battle Mercy coming out. Big Boy takes down Designer, something you don't normally see. But Big Boy takes down Designer. Here comes the Deadeye. Not going to be successful, but I don't know if that does not demech anybody. The only one left is the Primal Rage coming out from Hippo. And he's probably going to die for it. Self-destruct coming out in the background to try and hold. Kudo goes down. Nobody left on the point. And now the door wide open for the Capulets to take this 3-0.
3-0 in the Capulets' favor is such a hard thing to come back for if you're the Montagues. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, that they could get swept. I mean, it's a possibility, but you know, they definitely show potential. I love how they win these fights. They just wait a very long time for these ults to be built up here. So we'll see if that's a difference maker next time.
And so we are into the next try here. We're into the try for the Capulets. 20 seconds left to go in the Assemble the Heroes phase. So right now, if you're the Montagues, if this were a best of 5 match, the Montagues would be panicking a little bit because the broom would be peeking out of the closet just a little bit right now. But right now, the Montagues are still in a little bit of trouble, down to 0, but didn't get a point. You can see how close that payload was to the point, and it's the golden box right now actually touching a little bit of the checkpoint, but it wasn't quite there because the Capulets knew how to defend them. 45 seconds left to go on the prepare to attack and prepare your defenses phase. Right now, the Montagues got to find an answer and quick.
Yeah, and they definitely do. They just need to shut down and have better shot calling. You know, it doesn't seem like they're kind of in sync with each other more. While Capulets seem just a tiny bit more prepared. You know, all these guys are all-stars. So, you know, they all have, you know, great skill, and I love the play coming out from both sides. I love it, how Montagues will shut down the Capulets, but the Capulets just have way better shot calling. You know, they know who to focus and who to outgun. I mean, and look at this here, you know, like where on the Montague side, you know, they're kind of all spread out. They're going to group up here just a little bit, maybe to get behind the Orisa shield, but the Orisa's holding the high ground while nobody else seems to be. So besides the Roadhog, so we're going to see try to get some cheeky environmentals, I assume.
And we'll see if we get those environmentals, because right now you can see the Orisa come out from Hippo, maybe trying to get some revenge on Niffle earlier that was playing that Orisa, but now it's up to Hippo to see what he can do. And actually, Hippo does get the double kill with the halt on Santi and Niffle, so Hippo's like, Anything you can do, I can do better. And takes him down off the map. KNF also starts off. So what an answer from the Montagues to start us off here. 5 out of 6 of the men from the Capulets go down. And so the Montagues just gonna have a good first defense and a good answer to what the Capulets brought to them last round.
Yeah, and this is the kind of start you want to see from the Montagues. The Montagues are absolutely shutting down this Capulet push, and it's because it's the stagger and it's the intro pushes. Look, they brought down Angel, who switched onto this Bastion, and you know they had to use a Mercy res, and they barely got out of the spawn. So, you know, we're gonna see Angel rotate here, and Hippo's gonna shut down Niffle, and that's huge. Like we said, Montagues are getting these intro picks, and that's how you win these fights. You know, you never want to go into a fight like 6v3, 6v4, or something like that, and that's been Montague's problem. But look, now they're shutting him down, and another pull from Hippo. Great play.
You gotta be kidding. Hippo's just making use of the water right now, and it's such a smaller area than a regular environmental because you have only some space here. The Riptire comes out in the background, gets Big Boy in the process. So Montague's looking good right now. Gets the good intro pick on Big Boy.
Oh,
and Coldra is actually gonna install Mr. Dreams, takes him out of the map as well. And Niffle one more time takes down Coldra, avenging Mr. Dreams. So a little bit of a different battle than we've seen in the last round, where it's an environmental battle. The water now the biggest killer in the game. And so right now it's, but still the Capulets winning that fight, moving this payload up, gets around the first turn, but 2 minutes left to go. You're wondering, can the Montagues hold them all the way here?
Yeah, and you know, no more environmentals here as you rotate through this first turn, and I think this is where the difference makers are going to be. You know, we have to see the spam damage coming out here to destroy that shield, but look, the ult advantage does kind of favor the Montagues right now, but KNF's going to go down. That's one of your ults just taken out of the fight.
And so Godaka's actually going to res up KNF, so you still have the Deadeye available as KNF actually snipes Angel out, gets the flashbang on Mr. Dreams as well. So KNF really working this McCree here, and you can see why Godaka res KNF of all people, KNF out of the 3 people that went down there, and that is why. But still, 3 people going down, but it is not enough because the Capulets all go down at the same time. So the Montagues finally having their response. Something clicked with them because 41 meters left to go, and you can see the battle mercy from Godaka's like, anything you can do, I can do better. Sings it right back to Santi over there. And basically right now the battle being won by the Montagues, even if this payload is 4 meters away.
Yeah, Angel switches on to the comfort pick of Brigitte, so we're going to see, you know, some frontline play coming out here. But Mr. Dream is going to get that early pick on a Mercy. That's huge.
Transcendence also being popped by Kudo in the background as Designer gets a triple kill on the team. Santa Maria! What a play from the Montagues on the Capulets. And right now the Montagues have the answers. Designer goes off, takes down the power booster, and Kudo ends the fight with a kill on Niffle. So right now Montagues knew it all. Montagues have the answers for the Capulets. And right now, Montagues, Capulets need to find an answer quick because this payload 39 meters away needs to find an answer, needs to find it quick.
Yeah, and a lot of the ults used there, pretty much every single ult was used in that fight, so it's going to be just a full-on reset. The only one close to it is Mr. Dreams, and he's going to find a hook onto... Oh, he's going to use his ult actually right now.
Whole Hog actually comes out, and you're right, the Whole Hog does come out, but it's actually helping out right now because 3 people go down, including Godaka, but not before he gets the res on Hippo. So right now, it is all Capulets winning this battle. You can see that because of the man advantage, and now it gets around the 4th turn. Now the question is, that golden box of victory is right there to take for the Capulets. Can the Montagues get back there in time and try and force something in the final meters here? Final 15 meters, can anybody get back there in time? They gotta rush as everybody from the Capulets doing what they can to hold back. Kudo gets on the point, but not for long. It gets around the turn, final 2 meters, and Act 3 brings the spotlight back on the Capulets. Even if the Montagues had a few good plays there, the Capulets are the ones that are singing That's Amore by Dean Martin. As we see here on Rialto, they win, and they're up 3-0, 1 win away from winning the All-Star match.
And I just feel like, you know, defense just takes a little bit more coordination than attack does, as this play is obviously going to go to Hippo. We pointed it out earlier in the match. Look at that. A Mercy and a Reinhardt. That's so huge. That's such an essential play. Angel's going to go down as well. And that was the big opener. And I think that's a great, you know, way for the Montagues to kind of open up fights. They need to get that opening picks. And, you know, that's really what mattered to end.
All right, so Capulets up 3-0, and while we have a break, if you like what you've seen here so far, you can join our Discord and join a team or start up one for yourself. Link is in the description of the video, or if you type exclamation Discord in the chat, you'll get the link there. Once again, we invite you to come on down to the OTC Discord channel. Once you can start up a team and you can be part of the season 5 hype, or you can be part of future seasons coming up. Make a team, and maybe you could also land up as one of the all-stars here in Capulets or Montagues, or who knows, in future Family Feud battles. And so it'll be quite the task for the Montagues to come back here, because they are down 3-0. And like I said before, now in the best of 5, this would be a sweep. Now it's a best of 7, and now I can finally say the broom is peeking out the closet a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. There is a little bit of, a little bit. It's in their mind of the Montagues, but you just gotta take this game by game. You don't want to think, oh, we have to win 4. No, you have to win 1 at a time. So focus on the map that's coming up, and as we move on to this one, Numbani, this is a map that you just have to. This is the only map that should be in your mind. You can't be thinking about future maps. If you win this one, what's next? No, you need to be focusing on this one right here, and you need to. The Montague's strength was that they got those opening picks to kind of start out a fight, and I think that's will be the difference maker here, is that who gets the first pick, because that instantly turns it into a 6v5. And with all these guys being all-stars, I mean, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and you give them 1 kill, they'll take the rest of your team out. So you have to be careful.
Mm-hmm. And really, the Montagues, like you say, the shot caller's doing their best right now, but it's just the Capulets, the skill, and basically the overpower of what they have as a team comp right now. As you look at the prepare to defense phase, Capulets just really overpowering the Montagues. Let's take a look at their team comps though, because it's a little different. Angel's gonna play a Symmetra now, something we don't usually see in competitive mode, but yes, the Symmetra is coming out, as well as Chico on the Widowmaker, trying to get a few picks up high, and the only other DPS to start here is Santi on the Soldier. Otherwise, 2 tanks. The only healer from the Capulets right now is by our big boy, who's going to play the Moira, not like we've seen him play the he play the Ana before. The Montagues pretty much playing the same thing. KNF and now playing the Tracer, and in past games we've seen this Tracer be so effective. KNF going to see if he can do it here.
Yeah, and Santi's going to get, a view of that whole team as they try to rotate out on that side. Soldier's going to kind of communicate who it is, and Angel's going to get the first pick. Look at that, already getting some value.
Already getting some value there on that Symmetra, and right now, like you said, if you give them an inch, you give them a mile, you give them 1 kill, they wipe out the team, because right now that is proving true. Capulets taking down pretty much the entire team, led by Niffle with 2 kills. KNF trying his best to take down whatever he can, takes down Big Boy in the process, but Santi just shutting the door in KNF's face after that. And so right now, it's still the Montagues that need to find an answer. Had a little bit of the contest from the point, but still no ticks on that point right now for the Montagues, and they need to find an answer.
Yeah, and the Montagues are going to switch on to a full hardcore dive. I mean, this feels like Season 8 competitive play. I mean, look at this Tracer, Genji, and then the dive tank line. That's huge, and we'll see if this makes a difference here. They're going to try to overpower the Capulets, but the Lucio's going to go down. Oh, no.
And Niffle, very impressive, actually. Angel takes down a double kill with the turrets, but Niffle, if you saw that, actually had to fly across from the previous platform, tackles Lucio from Kudo, and takes him onto the other side platform, which is pretty impressive if you're me, because that's just an impressive tackle at that point. Takes him down on the other wall from the platform, so really just a win there for the Capulets once again, and the Montagues just cannot find the answer to what the Capulets are bringing to the table, because if they don't find an answer, this is going to be the broom taken out of the closet real quick.
Yeah, and Angel did set up the teleporter, so now it's going to be even a harder task for Montagues, because a kill might not be the end of it. They're going to use, sometimes, you think like, okay, they have to walk all the way back from spawn. Nope, the teleporter's right behind the point right there, so this may be just a very difficult task, but they are going to switch with the comp. Kuro is going to go over to that Pharah, but Chico did switch over to that Tracer, was originally on. Ooh, big shatter.
Big shatter in the background, down in the room, is going to get at least 4 people there, and KNF and Kudo's going to take advantage, but it's still Angel with the Symmetra. How about this Symmetra? Something we don't usually see be a threat. It's being the biggest threat right now for the Capulets, and it's like whatever Angel plays, he's got wings on the back of their character, because apparently that person, they are an Angel, because they're just playing out the entire team right now.
Yeah, and Angel is, definitely making the case. Ooh, KNF is going to get the pick on a Chico, and that may be an opening pick, but Diva's going to try to end it out, and then he'll find a double.
Finds a double on Hippo and Godaka, so what a self-destruct there. And again, the Big Boy falls off the map for some reason. But right now, Capulets is going to have themselves another defensive play, and they're like, Big Boy falls off the map, that's okay, 5v6, we got this. So right now, the Capulets just having all the answers for the Montagues, and the Montagues picking up the telephone, but still getting the dial tone because they cannot just find an answer right now.
No answer at all, and the Angels definitely making their case for the All-Star MVP. That's just great play. You know, 2 play of the games earlier on Brigitte and shutting down on Symmetra, and look, he's on the front line again.
Coalescence being popped by Big Boy in the background, trying to get anything. And again, Angel, what a threat for the Capulets right now with this Symmetra. Now the Rocket Barrage comes in from Kudo, trying to get any damage. Hippo with the Primal Rage, so basically every ult's going to be trying used here by that team of Montagues. The only 2 left, the Pulse Bomb and the Self-Destruct coming up, as well as Godaka's Valkyrie. But Kudo really working for the team of Montagues right now because he's gotten 3 kills and the D-Mech, and so far is just carrying this team. And no response until Saturday finally gets the Helix Rockets on Kudo. But it's still a win for the Montagues right now, and the play by Kudo says, you know what, Angel did this, I can do this.
Yeah, and the only reason, you know, the Capulets were able to make that fight so long was because they had the teleporter. You know, Santi was able to get back on there, but ooh, be careful. Chico is behind the point as this Tracer going to try to get a 1 clip. Nope, we'll rewind.
Rewinds and goes and backs up. And actually, they're going to try and follow up with him. KNF's going to try and follow him like Romeo did with Juliet, but no, that's not going to happen. And so right now, we're going to see if the Capulets can defend this point or if the Montagues can pretty much push this payload, because we haven't seen a very good push from them yet. They only had 1 point back on King's Row, and now it's time for them to shine. If this is the time that they need to be in prime time, this is the time right now, because the Montagues need to show up here and get some more points, because we know 1 point is not enough. The Self-Destruct in the background gets a triple kill for Mr. Dreams, and KNF with a double kill on the Pulse Bomb. Santa Maria for both teams there, because right now it's an all-out battle. Self-Destruct right in the middle as well. Doesn't get anybody, so a little bit disappointment after that. 1 Self-Destruct and two kills on a Pulse Bomb, a triple kill. And once again, both sides showing off why they are all-stars. Mainly KNF on the Tracer, and finally Mr. Dream showing up with that big Self-Destruct on D.Va.
That was such a huge bomb. I mean, spawn advantage did favor the attacker, so they got right back in the fight. But still, what a stagger there. That was so impressive. Great bomb. And look, Angel's going to take out Designer, so it's a 6v5.
And so now 1v1, now it's a push and shove, but how about Kudo with this pharmacy combo, winning the battle right now, gets the rocket barrage, and is gonna go down. Actually, Santi reflects anything Kudo has, so Santi's just a little bit disrespectful, but right there, just takes down Kudo in the process. But the main thing for the Montagues is right now, this payload keeps moving. That's what you want. And with 50 seconds left to go, they're gonna get more additional time, since nobody from the Capulets is gonna try and defend this. So this is the final hold for the Montagues. Something we haven't seen from the Montagues yet. A second point. They have an additional minute and a half. 2:10 left to go on the clock for them in their final push for the 3rd point.
Yeah, they definitely don't want. They want to push that broom right back into the closet. They don't want to get swept here. And you know, they're showing it here. They're showing why they're all-stars. Look at the ult advantage, or look at the ult economy right now. Look, KNF has that bomb again, so we're gonna see, is he gonna put it on the Reinhardt? But nope, right onto the shield.
Right, so puts it right on the shield. You're absolutely right. So does take out a little bit of damage on the shield, but not enough to fully take down the shield, because that thing, I don't think that thing does about 2,000 damage. Anyways, in the meantime, Angel pops the Transcendence, brings out the, or Zenyatta balls, or rather the wings there of Angel, trying to see if he can get the heals on the team. Right now, just the dominant performance by the Capulets all series long, but Montagues finally showing up here a little bit, gets their first 2 points of the series. They didn't score on Lijiang Tower, only scored 1 point on King's Row, and no points on Rialto. And finally coming up here, the Dragon Blade comes out. Pretty much all ults coming out here. Self-Destruct comes in, gets Mr. Dreams in the process, so that's a win for Coldress. And the Dragon Blade comes out, and not much doing there. So, and now the Rocket Barrage from Kudo in the background. Santi's just once again going to take down Kudo and punish him for even trying. But KNF on the Tracer. Excuse me, KNF on the Tracer gets a triple kill, and right now the Montagues in the driver's seat. They get it around turns 1 and 2, and now the payload in a very short home stretch.
Yeah, they do only have 45 seconds though, so this is going to be a very long fight, especially with the advantage favoring the defense with the spawn. So they are going to switch it up. They're going to bring out Mr. Dreams onto that Zarya instead of that D.Va. So, you know, we'll see where the advantage falls there. Look at the Capulets shutting down this push, you know, comes out of spawn, and I just feel like they're, you know, the tank line kind of got separated from the DPS there. So they just have to do a full restart, but they have to hurry. Designer has to speed boost them in.
And Angel coming out, now switching. We saw Angel on the Brigido, we saw Angel on the Symmetra. We saw Angel on the Zenyatta. Now moves on Brigido, who's gotten 2 plays of the game so far. 8 seconds left to go. The Montagues need to get to this point. They need to get it fast. And right there, the Lucio answers the question right away. Designer and Godaka right there, even though Chico takes down Godaka with the McCree in the process. And the only one left on the point is Designer with the Lucio. The overtime clock is finally going to run down. And now the Montagues, 2 points and a lot of meters, which means this door is not as open as it previously was back on Kings Row and Rialto. But now the Capulets have a job to do, try and get 3 points out of this and win the series.
Yeah, and they definitely fixed the problems that we were mentioning earlier. You know, earlier we were talking about how the shot calling was a little bit off point, but then once Angel was on that Symmetra, they just focused Symmetra and they found the teleporter and they were able to, you know, take both of them out, and that's huge. You know, that takes out all of that damage that Symmetra has to apply, and you know that'll be the big difference maker is the shot calling. And great ults, great DPS line coming out on the Montagues. Kudo and KNF, huge on that Tracer and Pharah. Great plays from both of them.
And so now it's up to the Montagues to hold this point all the way because they have space now. Not like we've seen them before. The door wasn't as open as it was back on, like we say, Kings Row and Rialto. They have 2 points. They were so close to the final point, and now they have basically 2 points and 65.59 meters of space. And that's a lot of space, but if you're the Montagues right now and you're playing very dominantly, that is not a lot of, or sorry, if you're the Capulets and you're playing this dominantly, that's not a lot of space for the Montagues to hold.
Yeah, definitely. But this defensive comp, you know, it looks like they're gonna run Designer on the Soldier while Kudo kind of takes the backseat. He was the Pharah earlier. Now he's gonna switch onto that Zenyatta, take that second support role, and Designer is gonna take over that other DPS role. KNF staying that DPS, but look at that. We'll play the Hanzo, and you know, I feel like that'll be Hanzo's such a great defensive character just because with the Storm Arrows now, you know, it's so hard to run into a Hanzo.
Oh god, Hippo's DPI just shooting up here, shaking all over the place. And now we're gonna see the fence come out finally. Godaka just dancing around there, and Designer also dancing along with them with the hustle, and then the old man, the prospector dance from the Soldier 76. But now they're back in action here. The Capulets trying to show up here, trying to defend trying to attack the point. And the Montagues gotta hold them to 2 points, and the only space that they have is 2 points and 65.69 or 59 meters rather. And already Chico gets the pick in the background. That's an intro to start, but Godaka also gets the res on Kudo. So really only one man going down from that fight there, and Chico getting Designer. So right now it's still in favor of the Capulets. As you can see on the point now, just a push and shove a little bit on the point. The only one left on this point to defend is Hippo, trying to swing away right now. And it's just right now the Montagues holding this point as long as possible. The shield battle between with Koldras on the Zarya. Hippo misses the tackle, but I don't think anybody's paying attention to Kudo because he's getting a few snipes here, and finally Niffle takes him down. But right now the Montagues just showing up on the defensive hold. Chico finally gets the double kill and takes down Godaka before he can res anybody. So right now the Capulets a very fast take. 2:50 on the clock. They're going to get an additional 2.5, I believe, and yes, 5:18 on the clock. And the Capulets have themselves the door open here with 5:10 on the clock, because that is a lot of time to defend this, to play out the second point.
Yeah, Montagues are holding that door shut, but the Capulets are knocking really, really hard. So there is a little bit of panic, but there is no worry. One thing we didn't mention is Santi is on this Mei, and you know that Mei wall could create so much space. And look, I mean, as you saw there, they blocked off the point so that Montagues couldn't really take that back. So it's going to be just a hard push coming out here. And Niffle's going to get that opening pick.
Niffle gets the opening pick on Designer, so right now it is in the hands of Capulets. They get it around the first 2 turns here, and now they're going to try and get it around turn number 3 here, which is very important because that's the home stretch of point number 2. And if you're the Montagues, you've got to hold this because this is the one point you do not want to give up considering what's going on. As the Sound Barrier and the Transcendence both drops on both sides, the Urge Shatter by Hippo does take down Santi in the process on the Mei. The Dragon Blade comes out from Chico, but gets shut down immediately by Kudo, and any chance of his reign for Chico goes down. And one more can you say about Kudo on the Zenyatta right now? Who needs a sniper when you've got the Zenyatta sniper coming out? And it's coming up big for the Montagues right now, defending the point, and they're going to force the Capulets back off this payload.
if the only people left holding the point is a Reinhardt and then the two supports Zen and Mercy, you don't expect a lot of DPS coming out of there, but Zen is absolutely popping up. Kudo is so good, was so good on the Pharah, now so good on here, but look at the Blizzard coming out.
Blizzard comes out, only probably gonna get Hippo, but is shielded, so that's gonna protect him from any harm there. And now Mr. Dreams gets the self-destruct. The attack visor comes out for Designer. We'll see if that gets anybody in the background. Not really getting anybody. Does take down Big Boy. Helix Rockets does take down Santi as well, so this could be huge. Montagues have the man advantage. And now the tackle, that's gonna be huge. That's gonna bring Coldress to a stop. 4.34 meters. The only one left there is Hippo to defend the point. Really nobody paying attention to him. But right now, it is Hippo that defends the point. Even if he was asleep for 5 seconds, Hippo still finds a way to defend the point, and right now the Capulets just cannot find an answer. 3 minutes is plenty of time though, but the Montagues know that they're mounting the clock away.
Yeah, and with no Zen on the side of the Capulet, that Dragon Surge combination looks very scary now with Coldridge and KNF, so you have to watch out if the Capulets don't group up. And with the Diva being D-Mech, that's one way to open that, because now nobody can eat your Dragon.
KNF on this Hanzo now with the Dragon Strike ready, as well as Coldrizz's Graviton Surge, so we will see if that is a factor. The final meters here, 3.11 left to go. The mech back in for Mr. Dreams. So right now, somebody's got to find an answer, and once again, Hippo is slept, and the Earth Shatter gets 2 people on the glitch. I had a little bit of a glitch, but gets 2 people in the process, and another Earth Shatter coming in, not really getting anybody for Hippo, so it's just a push and shove battle right now for the Montagues to try and defend this point, but it's not enough as the final 3 meters are taken by the Capulets. So 3:50 on the clock, and you're wondering if you're the Montagues right now, they are now the Capulets 65.61 meters away from sweeping the series.
Yeah, the spawn advantage is going to favor the Montagues here, as KNF's going to find that cheek pick on the Chico, who tried to overextend just a little bit, but you still have that Dragon Sword they didn't use it in that last fight, so that is another delay you can get. You just have to be careful, you don't want it to get eaten.
So it's the final curtain call right now for the Capulets right now. The Graviton Surge coming in and gets a double kill on Big Boy and Angel, and also gets Sniffle in the process. So what a play there by KNF. 3 people going down by the hands of KNF, and I would say KNF, you're missing a few letters to make knife, because he's pretty much just cut into the team of the Capulets. And right now the Montagues have the advantage, but with 3 minutes left on the clock and this payload 15, almost exactly 15 meters away, it's going to be close. Kudo takes down, after Kudo takes down the mech from Mr. Dreams, KNF right there on the storm out to take him down. So again, another stagger for the Capulets, and the Montagues have the advantage coming in. So now we're going to see one more time if the Capulets can come out swinging here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. This could very well be the final curtain call for the Montagues here, because right now they're just trying their best. A triple Earth Shatter coming in, not getting anyone, or does triple Earth Shatter, but the follow-up self-destruct not there, but it's still advantage Capulets. They get it around the first 2 turns, and now they're in the home stretch for the golden area to victory. Right now, Goldaka reses up Hippo after going down. So it's still the man advantage going to Capulets, but the Montagues now push and shove. Here comes the Earth Shatter, gets 2 people in the process, and actually saves the life of IR Big Boy in the process there. Chico gets the kill on Hippo from the charge, so right now still man advantage Capulets. But Montagues, that spawn room is so close to the payload now, and the stagger might actually work here. Capulets gotta work hard as the Dragon Strike comes right down the middle. Not really gonna get anybody in the process, so right now Montagues gotta find a way to try and hold this all the way. Death Blossom comes out from Santi in the background. Not really going to get anybody, but does clear out the point. So a few more meters left to go here, and still the Capulets winning the battle. Right now in the man advantage, 6-4 in favor of them. Niffle going down by the hands, Godaku going down by the hands of Niffle, and right now the man advantage is still in the hands of Capulets, but not moving this payload. And finally, the final meters, 2 meters left to go. And the final, oh no, I called it too soon. Graviton Surge coming in on this payload. The question is the follow-up. Attack visor comes out from Chico, takes down KNF as well as Coldress. The only one left, Hippo and Kodaka. Can he get the rest? That is not going to be in time. The Capulets win the family feud of a lifetime. They are the Season 4 All-Star champions, and the curtain call, and the curtain raises, and the spotlights are all on them.
Whew, what a fight between these two. As the match went along, Montagues definitely got better. But look at this, KNF, absolutely insane from it, and this will be the Dragon Surge combination we talked about earlier. It will get both supports and bring down the main tank. I mean, that was huge. That was a huge fight opener, and man, between these two teams, that was a great fight.
That was a very incredible fight for them, and what a game! Even if it was a 4-0 sweep, the score does not exemplify what these players can do, because these are all stars you're talking about, and even if it was a 4-0 game, they were picked by the community as the best of the EU servers, and they showed why, because pretty much everybody had at least one good play that they had throughout the entire game, and you can't blame either side for really either one showing up or not, or two really not showing up on both sides. Both of them played really well.
Yeah, definitely. Both of them played really well. If you had to name an MVP though, an All Stars MVP, who would be your pick?
My pick on if I were to pick mine would be Angel. Angel came up huge for the team, and like you were saying, like you were saying a few minutes ago, Angel was looking like the All-Star MVP, but for me, Angel is the All-Star MVP. Comes out with the Brigida 2 games in a row on Lijiang Tower and King's Row with the play of the game, something you usually do not see from a Brigida like that. But an aggressive Brigida can be so hard to take over, and finally comes out with a play that they need. And even in the final map there, Symmetra being a threat, Zenyatta being a threat, and then the Brigida comes out and still is a threat. So Angel really, the wings of Angel showing up today, and that's why Angel is an all-star. But who would you say is your pick for MVP?
You know, I'm really, really so close to agreeing with you. You know, Angel was so good, but you know what? I'm actually going to go with an all-star on the losing team. Montague Kudo coming out here, great fair play and also great Zenyatta play. You know, he was very silent. We didn't really point it out too often, but man, if you rewatch the VOD and you just pay attention to the kill feed, Kudo just will get 2 here, 3 there, you know, out of nowhere, just in these fights. And, you know, it was kind of the sleeper agent of it. So that will be the EU All-Star game. And, man, what a game.
And what a game it was. Just asking around if we are ending the stream here, but yes, we are. So basically, what a game, what a showcase from these 12 players, and they are your all-stars, and you will be seeing more of them coming up in the future in our Season 5 games coming up here, and we may very well see one of these players lead up into the championship round of the EU games. But that'll do it for us here on the OTC. Oh, that'll do it for us here in the Overtime Champions Community EU All-Star Game. We'd like to thank our production crew, Toadette, as well as more on production. My color was Pulse. We thank you guys for watching. Any final thoughts, Pulse?
No, I mean, just tune in for the NA game, which, you know, we will be back to cast on that one as well. So we'll see you guys in there.
We will see you guys all there. The start time for the NAA All-Star Game later today, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you guys all there. But the curtain finally calls on the Capulets and the Montagues, and the spotlight lands up on the House of Capulets, who wins the series in a sweep 4-0.
All right, we'll see you guys later.